Good day, YouTube. Today is March 11th, 2018, and we're working on building a brand new trailer. This is the first trailer I have ever built from scratch, but it's coming right along. Yesterday, spent about 5 or 6 hours getting all the steel cut, get a lot of it welded together, some of it's tacked together, and then I ran out of shielding gas for my welder, and it's the weekend, and you can't buy gas on the weekend, unfortunately. So I cut the cross pieces, and I have them all fit in there, and they're just sitting there. And I ended up running to Harbor Freight, picking up some flux core wire for my Lincoln welder. I haven't used flux core wire since I bought that 20 years ago, I don't know, whatever long it's been. So it's been a while since I've used it, but I didn't really have a choice. I wanted to keep going, and I can't get gas on the weekends. I should see about picking up an extra bottle to have one so I don't run out on the weekends. But getting ahead of ourselves. So I've also been to Harbor Freight about 3 times yesterday, total, picking up different things. I need to put a fold-away jack on all 4 corners. So 2 of the trips that I made to Harbor Freight yesterday, I picked up 2 jacks. I have 2 more to get. I'll probably get those today. Of course, the reason I pick them up only one at a time is I use my 20% off coupon. These are $25 regular price. They're $21 with the coupon. And I am cheap, and 4 times 4, $4 saved times 4 jacks is 16 bucks. Almost pays for 1 jack. So that's how we roll. It's not far from me, and I have to go there anyway. So I went there and got some wire. I was starting to put it in the welder. I got it threaded in there. I got flux core wire. Let's finish getting it out the stinger here. Hopefully it does it without screwing up. I feel it. It's coming, it's coming. There we have it. We got wire. We can weld today. Shut that off for a second. By the way, you can't use your 20% off coupon for welding wire at Harbor Freight. It's a name brand. It's Vulcan brand. I bought this the other day. This is what we're welding on with until I ran out of gas. I also stopped by my house, and I had this welding wire. And it's the same alloy as what I just bought at Harbor Freight in a flux core wire, but this doesn't say flux core or not. So I don't know if it is or not. So I don't know. I've tried to look it up on the internet. I was thinking it was, but hell, I don't know. Anyway, I had a roll of aluminum, and you know that's a little tricky to weld with. I've never actually tried it. And then I had a whole box full, or a whole bag full of welding parts and stuff. Might as well get all this stuff in the same spot. Get it all over here at my shop. And of course, 1, 2, 3 free items at Harbor Freight, right? I use these things all the time. Picked up another box of gloves because I'm down to 1. We should be good to go. So, to get this part 2 started, we did part 1 of this video yesterday and posted it. So if you haven't seen part 1, you might do that first. This is part 2. I'm going to start off by welding all the stuff that is just sitting there. Of course, we're building this trailer upside down. And then somehow or another today, I've got to flip this trailer over by myself. But, you know, I've got a hydraulic lift. And if there's a will, there's a way. I'll figure it out. We'll get this trailer on its wheels today. That's the goal. So we can weld the top side. And I don't know if that 2-pound roll of wire will get me through the day or not. Honestly, don't have a feel for that. We'll see what happens. I'll check back with you shortly. Well, we got a bunch of welding done. I gotta say, it's been a long time since I've used flux core wire, and I hate it. Man, it is messy. It's worse than arc welding. which maybe isn't a bad idea to pick up a little arc welder, because I think it would have been better. Look at all the splatter. It's horrible. Anyway, but we got it welded. I only did what I needed to do on the underside. When I flip this over, I'll do everything with the MIG welder. And this came together pretty good, as I hoped it would. Bringing the tongue right out to the shackle point. I made a plate over top so I could close in that box tubing that I had cut at an extreme angle, and then fully welded it with a garbage wire. Ground it to make it look somewhat presentable. I guess once it's painted, it'll be okay. So, that said, I think I'm on to put the axle in. So, the axle came with the whatever you call the axle mounts that would sit on the axle. I think I can put all this on without welding those to the tube for the short term until we get better welding materials. So I think I'll wrestle that axle tube into place. You would have a couple choices. If you want a tall trailer, you could put the axle under the springs. Remember, we're building this upside down, so this is under the springs. I don't want the trailer particularly high, so we're going to put the axle on top of the springs. Should be good to go. So without further ado, I'll grab that axle and slide her in place and start fitting it, getting it all centered in the trailer. Okay, we got the axle all in. Everything's tightened up. Everything's working great. Just it's a great kit. Buying the axle and tongue and springs and shackles and lights and fenders and wheels and tires all in one deal. Everything's just coming out real good. So happy with that. The next thing I moved on to was starting to do the little stuff, the accessory items. I like these chain links here. Obviously welded those on, and that's for the safety cables, which also came in the kit. And then I have moved on to cutting little pieces of leftover tubing to weld on the inside, and that's to run the wires down for the trailer lights. And then I can dump into that tube and run out the back there. And then I just have cut a piece of conduit to cross the rear cross member. I'll just weld it on in a few spots, because you got to get the other couple wires over to the other side. So we'll run a ground wire from the vehicle, but we'll also ground it a couple of times on the trailer so that everything is at the same potential. So that's good. Of course, taillights are going to mount out here, so I can look to get those holes drilled and stuff too, while I've got this whole thing on the lift and upside down. So what I have now to do is to weld those little pieces up, weld this conduit right there onto the rear, and then we'll dig around in the what's left in here. Safety cables, lights, tungsten. Excuse me. Then I've got the two jacks for the rear that I showed you earlier, sitting over there on the truck, and I need to get two more for the front, and I can make 2 trips to Harbor Freight today with my 20% off coupons, and then get those two, because they have a weld on hub. I should be able to weld right there after I figure out the exact spacing of them, which for that I need to put the light on there so I know how much space I need. So coming together, I'll check back with you shortly. Well, I got the jacking, or the jack points, placed on the rear. Have everything kind of ready. Now I'm trying to flip this thing around. I'm seeing a very crooked cross member though. Oh boy. Well, might have to fix that. That's alright. That's the only one I goofed up on. So I'm trying to flip this over. I thought I'd put it on video in case it cracks the whole thing. Oh, I think it's time to put the tires on. They only got to be, okay. Find some lug nuts. I think 2 will do it for now. Okay, let's see what happens. See if I can do this without damaging anything. I got holes in here. Just stuck these screwdrivers in so it don't fall over. Oop, I see a fatal flaw. It's gonna bind up right there. Sure as nothing. Can I move that forward? So these have a safety catch, which I'm trying to pull out of the way so I can move them. I have to do them a little at a time, probably. Little bit, little bit. Going up. I'm going to go up a little more and get that block out of there. Oh, I'm maxed out. High as she goes. Comes out her end. Good deal. Well, should give me a little room. Okay, hand truck. I got a hand truck. Where to put it? There it is. I'll get a hand truck underneath this thing. And pull it back this direction. Okay. See what happens coming down. A little bit at a time. want to stay out of harm's way in case it all goes bad. Put a lot of pressure on it. Putting a lot of pressure on it. Well, I think I'll turn you off and scratch my head a little bit. And I'll check back with you in a little bit. Okay, I got another harebrained idea. Now, this will be a record of my death. Wrong. So far, so good. Taking the screwdrivers out. Scary. Let me try to move the arms forward again. Oh yeah, there we go. Not bad. Coming down some more. Move my head. Try that. That one's bound up. Moving up. Shoot ski. Dang it. I'm close. I'm real close. Gonna take the cart out. See what happens. These arms would go forward. Okay. Okay. I'll bet that's... Well, this is taking a while. almost there. Almost there. Okay, one's out. Two's out. It's on the lift. It's on the lift. So, this thing's not designed to run. This is not designed to run unless it's firmly on the ground. And I'm jacking it up. Or trying to. So I gotta let it down. And I want it to roll. But if it can't roll, I'll have to tag the trailer that way. Emergency down lever. Okay. Ingenuity. Dragging the trailer this way. Coming down. Oh, I'm caught. That's what coming down. Going up. Gotta drag it back a little. Down a little more. We're almost there. Gotta go back a little. Do that. It's a piece of cake now. Nothing to it. There we are. successfully flip that trailer back on its wheels. Woohoo! Hard work. I'll check back with you a little bit. Okay, we're back on the lift, this time right side up. Got a few things to do, including I gotta cut that crooked cross piece out and fix that. Luckily it's only one I screwed up on. But it's time to start building fender mounts. We'll bolt down the tongue stand, and we're getting really close. Got to cut the aluminum for the deck, but we can't really put it on till we get this thing cleaned up and painted, and got some welding to do and stuff, so I got to get some gas this next week. Not a lot of time this next week, very busy at work and stuff, so it'll be next Saturday. We'll try to put the finishing touches on this trailer project. So I think we'll call this the end of part 2, and then we'll restart part 3, fitting the rest of it, and part 3 will probably take us all the way to the finish line on this one. So thank you guys and gals for watching, commenting, subscribing. Hit a thumbs up if you would, please. It just helps promote the channel. I'd appreciate that. Share it if you can. And we'll catch you on the next one.